Are you gonna be a good bird? She's like hissing at me right now. She's like, hi guys. If you're watching this, my guess is that you came over from TikTok. I'm Michelle. This is Tiki. She's that bird that talks about bacon pancakes, but not the original one. That one's Milo. What? She's like whispering in my ear right now. She's eating like a little piece of a rice cake to keep her occupied while I talk. Okay, so this is my first video. I know I've talked a lot about having a Quaker parrot in my TikToks, but now I can kind of do that in more depth. And Tiki will be here to make sure I don't say anything bad about her. So this first video is just kind of going to be about Quaker parrots. Not all birds, not about owning a bird. When I decided that I wanted a Quaker parrot, I noticed that there's really not that much information about them on the internet. So now that I am a year in with this wonderful bird, I feel like I have both gathered enough knowledge from my own research and also just from my personal experiences to make a video educating people on Quaker parrots and what they're like. Tiki's mad, I don't know why. Okay, so Quaker parrots. Their scientific name is something that I cannot pronounce, so I will put it on the screen. The other name for a Quaker parrot is a monk parakeet. When I say the word parakeet, you probably think of budgies, which are often just called parakeets, but the word parakeet actually refers to a whole group of parrots, not just budgies. I think they're called monk parakeets because it kind of looks like they're wearing a hood. See, like the gray face, and then the green looks like a hood. Not 100% sure on that, but I think that that's why. And then Quaker parrot refers to this action that they do that is actually pretty unique to a Quaker parrot. Most birds start out by doing this like quake thing in the nest, and I think it's just like a sign that they want to be fed. But Quaker parrots are unique that they continue to do this all throughout their life. Tiki doesn't do this that much except when she gets hormonal, but it looks kind of funny. It's like they put their head back and they're like quaking. So there are a lot of different color variations in captivity of Quakers. The green ones are the naturally occurring ones, but in captivity we now have blue, yellow, like an albino one. There's gray ones. I've seen like a purplish colored one before. All those different colors are out there. I've heard that some of the colors don't have the best health outcomes and don't live as long. I would assume that's like just from genetic modification. Quakers in general are pretty hardy birds. They usually live 20 to 30 years, which is a very long time if you're thinking of getting one as a pet. They also adapt really well to various environments. Quakers are native to Argentina and some countries surrounding. Due to humans transporting them all around the world, there are now wild populations in just almost everywhere. There's tons in Europe. There's some in the United States. Like even in colder climates, like in New York City, there is a wild population of them. And they're an invasive species. So a lot of states and countries, they're actually illegal. I live in New York State, so they are not illegal here, but I know that not far from me, a couple hours away in Pennsylvania, they are illegal. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want one as a pet. Make sure that they are legal where you live. What else can we say about you, T, huh? What else? They cause a lot of problems in the places that they basically take over. They eat a lot of crops, so that causes problems for farmers, and they will build their nests. I guess from like a structural standpoint, you wouldn't want a bird to, because they build really, really big, intricate nests. So they cause a lot of trouble, just like in my life. As I just mentioned, Quaker parrots build nests, and that is different than all other types of parrots who burrow into like holes and trees and crevices and stuff like that. Quaker parrots live in huge flocks, so they're very family oriented, I guess, and they build these nests for them and their whole flock to live in. They call them like bird condos or bird apartments because they oftentimes have like multiple rooms that serve different purposes. So they're just like super intricate, super big. Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard things like they've found Quaker nests that are like the size of like a small car. If you have a Quaker parrot in captivity, they will instinctually start to build a nest, and they will use anything and everything that they can find to build their nest. Quakers are really into like having a flock and bonding and having social interactions. So if you want a Quaker parrot, they're very clingy. Tiki cannot tolerate being in a different room from me. Even if I'm like calling back to her and she can't see me, it upsets her. I'm gonna do another video on Quakers as pets. So right now I'm just kind of trying to think of everything you should know about Quakers in general. Talking. Not all Quakers talk, but I guess they are more likely to talk as opposed to different species of birds. So one thing to remember about birds that can talk. If you want a bird that can talk, they are going to be loud and they are going to be persistent for the most part. Right? You're so loud. If Tiki is like standing this close to me and decides to let out a huge shriek, that's it for my ears. So Quakers are very high energy. They always need to be doing something. Misconception that I had, like I thought that like my bird would just be happy like hanging out with me, and I know she looks like she is right now, but she has something in her beak. She needs constant interactions and constant things to do. She always needs to have either something in her foot, something in her beak. She needs to be chewing on things. She needs to be talked to. Like, she will not tolerate just hanging out and relaxing. Quakers are so busy. Okay, so we've lost Tiki. She's still here, but, you know. What are you doing? Come here. Hello! Oh, you see yourself? Yeah? Uh-oh! So, I really don't know what else there is to say about Quakers. Should I talk about their diet? Yeah. Quakers in the wild mostly survive off of vegetation, like crops, vegetables. In captivity, they need to have a nutritious pellet. They really don't eat that much seed because they are prone to some health complications and becoming overweight, which Tiki is not. Tiki is perfectly healthy, but she does like some good seeds. They do like, they should be eating a lot of vegetables. Tiki does not eat as much as she should, but she does really like broccoli, so I try to give her broccoli as much as possible. Quaker parrots are pretty easy to breed. That goes back to my thing about how they are pretty hardy birds. They're definitely not endangered at all. They are very adaptable to their circumstances, so they breed easily. Because of that, they are a fairly inexpensive bird. So I think that I covered pretty much everything. I want to leave some links to some other resources about Quaker parrots in the description because, again, when I was researching before bringing home mine, I had a hard time finding a lot of resources, which is surprising because I'm pretty sure they're like one of the more common types of pet parrots. And like I mentioned before, this is supposed to be just like about Quaker parrots as an animal, not so much what life is like having one, although I did touch on that a little bit. But I'm gonna make those videos next. So if you have any very specific questions of stuff you would like me to touch on, if you are thinking of getting a Quaker, or if you already have one, I would be more than happy. This video is probably just a huge mess, and I'm very sorry, but I'm still learning. I'm not very good at like talking on camera. There will definitely be more content from me. I really hope that I can help people out. I love talking about birds. I love sharing my knowledge. So Tiki wanted to come say goodbye, I guess. So if somehow you found this video by not following me on TikTok, go over to TikTok and follow me there. I post a lot of really fun Tiki videos of her talking. She's very, very chatty, so go check that out. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe, and I don't know. Go follow me elsewhere. It'll all be down in the description. Bye.